being true in your speech is then one of the most important things for the knowledge of Toltecan wisdom. But the fact that everything is changing can also be a problem for us, especially if we want to have the changes as quick as possible from the aspect of our personal lives and personal wishes. So then you have to realize that we are living in a world of gravitation. That means it will take time for you to realize your wishes and your dreams, and to realize the aim that you are bounded here for. So we have to have the patience, we have to have the confidence that it will come, but we have to wait for it. And sometimes we have to wait for a long, long time. But you also have to know that it will be true one day. Your wishes, your expectations will be true. Perhaps in the way that you are not now knowing, because you are not knowing sufficient for what is your real purpose here. But it will come. And with this patience, you will lead yourself from the way of bounding yourself into the personality. Because taking things personal is another thing that is a problem. So the second step for you is also to look after yourself in the way of not taking so much personal. It can be hard when people try to put something on you, to make demands on you that you don't want to, or making actions that you don't like. Then you can react and say that, oh, I'm getting very angry, or I'm getting very sorry. And of course, then you can step out of it by not taking it personal. Because if you wasn't there, the situation perhaps would be the same. I mean, your mama would be angry anyhow, and you was just around when she was angry. One thing with taking it or not taking it personal is that we are bounded in our person with a lot of fear. That fear is perhaps necessary to survive as a person, because if we don't have fears, we don't know how to survive. Normally the fears can be for sudden reaction, and it's good, and you can respond in a proper way. But when you're wearing the fears without they are real, just in your fantasy, in your imagination, that something will happen, that ever won't happen. Some say, especially in Asia or in India or China, that about 95% of the worries and the fears that you have will never appear in real life. And the 5% that will appear, okay, you cannot do nothing about them now, so why worry about them? And try to take away your fears. The fears of not being good enough, well enough, or not being sufficient is the most grounded fear for humanity. And that is in our education system. So you have to look on that one if you don't want to take things so personal. Because this fear is making you bounded into a prison that you will never get out before you get out of taking things personal. When you do that, then you can relieve yourself from the pain of criticism and for the fears of not being loved or whatever it is that hold you back. So get rid of taking things personal. And then you say, but how can I? Because I'm a person and I have to be me. And you have to be you, but you don't have to react on things personal. Because if you wasn't there, it will be someone else who was having the situation and the experience. This thing, taking things personal, is making you to a kind of victim. And you can play the role of being a victim. But it will never raise you up. It will never give you up to the consciousness and the beauty of life, because you will be down in worries and your fears. In the Toltecan wisdom, we call it that you have the parasite inside of your head. It's not so far away from the legend of Adam and Eve and the snake that was living in the tree and was tempted or made temptation to Eve that please take an apple, take a knowledge. So we take the wrong knowledge. We don't take the right knowledge about life. We take the wrong knowledge, the knowledge that will bound us into this material world that is strong, but it's also very dangerous, because this knowledge, and knowledge is a very dangerous thing to eat. You have to take care of the knowledge. You have to use it in a proper way. And we have so many examples on earth that knowledge has been making problems for us, making distraction, because the aim, the purpose of the knowledge, why do we want the knowledge? So, do we want it for the life, or do we want it for the death? And that is a line that you have to face. And if you was dead, I assure you that you cannot take things so personal. So you better be dead sometime, even in life. And if you feel yourself that you are in distance, far away, then even if you are in the present and in an environment, you don't have to react personal. So the training for the Toltecan is to learn how to die while we are living and to accept the death, because that is one of the most greatest fear that we have. So that will bound us to the personality so strong that we cannot do what we want to do. We say we will have it better in next life. I mean, or we will have it worse in next life because we are not good enough in this life. So we will have a worse life next life. But there will not be any next life, because a life is a continuous process. And you will not die even when you physically die. And you say, oh, I don't believe that. I'm going to die and I'm going to be buried. Yeah, perhaps you are doing that, your body, because you take it personally. But your conscience won't die, or your spirit or your soul, they will go on. They will still be there. So they will also make some good benefit for the future. So don't worry. Don't take it personally, and try to see when you get that you go into some kind of relaxation before you get stressed up about the situation, that something is against you, the gravitation is against you, somebody stopped you, somebody shouting at you in the store, or somebody will happen so you will get stuck in the traffic. Just enjoy this situation and observe them, and observe what beautiful they also can be in their drama situation, in the game of the situation. So then you are playing a role in a place and something happened, and don't be offended or feel that something can hurt you, because it cannot hurt you if you don't want it to be. But the personality or the person is also very important, that we wear this personality, because having our personalities is a way of learning about life. So your former personality will learn you about life, and the personalities that you had before this life will also learn you about this life, if you can catch up with them. So that is what we also do in our system of getting our knowledge about how it is, the condition of living. It's to go back to former lives. And you may think that it's crazy because you don't believe in this now. You don't believe in that it's possible to be here before, because you don't see it, you cannot feel it. So the first thing you have to do is open your senses. Perhaps you are the one that take in the information from your eyes, or you take in more information by listening, or some people take it in by feeling, having the senses of it, or even the smell can give you information and open up things for you. And then you realize that you are not just that person that you think that you are. When you use your senses more than you use your mouth, then you start the progress of getting out of the personal prison. You're getting out of being someone that you have to defend in front of other people. You don't have to defend yourself more. You take in, you listen, you melt what you get, and you can use it as you like. And then you can give it away to others. You can give it away, but you don't have to smash it in the heads of them. You can just leave them if they are offending you, or whatever you want to do. And it won't affect you. So you have your new protection of living. And that is much better than going around being afraid of criticism, or being afraid of not being loved, or whatever it is, or being afraid that you are the poorest person that cannot survive not having food, or being afraid of being so rich that you have to defend everything that is your money. So that gives you the freedom, and freedom is the connection to get to wisdom and love. And listen, not to me, but to the world around you, and find its beautiness. Find the spot that is a beautifulness. So even a garbage place can be the most beautiful thing in the world, and it can be so much treasures there. So remember, we don't have to kill for the diamonds in Africa. And I wish you the best. And of course, Vaya con Dios. Go with the gods, and one day we will be there.